Alright, the new 6-star featured hero crystal is finally here, and it is featuring some really good champions. I'm gonna go over each champion one by one, well, just the featured characters, and then I'll do a quick little opening because I am hunting one champion from this crystal. But first up is Kushala. Now Kushala I can definitely get if she is like your number one pick in this whole crystal, because yeah, she is honestly just something very special. She has some of the most like she has some of the craziest utility in the Mystic class, with like being able to block unblockable, having access to both Soul Barb and Nullify, and having access to just some very strong damage output as well. This character is just lighting up the contest. She is crushing Maestros and Battlegrounds. She is crushing Alliance War. And with this new Alliance War tactic, I think she's going to be one to have in your roster for sure. So yeah, Kushala, absolute banger of a champion. And right next to her is Chth. Now this champion has a special place in my heart because I got her from the Battle Realm Brawl event. And I think that Chth is honestly a really good character. I think her value as like a pure attacker is honestly pretty sweet. She has very easy cleanse mechanics. She has access to some pretty good bleed damage, and she's just a pretty simple yet effective character. I do see her used in like Alliance War. Maybe not as much now that she isn't a tactic attacker, but I think she still does have some value in like Battlegrounds too. And yeah, I think that Chth is a pretty fun pool, and she might surprise you with her effectiveness. Now, next up we have the champion that I feel like everyone wants, and I do not blame anyone for wanting this guy the most, but Onslaught is just a monster and a half. This man has access to so much utility, and he was the beacon of hope in a very poor mutant class. And this man has just been delivering every single meta, every single month. He is just getting better and better, I feel like. And he is just such a monster in every piece of content. Necropolis, Battlegrounds, Alliance War, you name it. Onslaught is just crushing it. So I think that this champion is definitely one to have, one to max out, one to fully ascend, because yeah, this champion is honestly something very special. Now next up we have one of the craziest defenders in the game, and a champion that I feel like honestly is near must have because of his defensive value, but Bullseye is a menace and a half. This champion is just so menacing. He has access to evade, he has crits on block, he has a mechanic where he inflicts bleed through block as well, and even if you dex him, you still get bled, which is honestly pretty crazy. And while his attacker value isn't necessarily all there, he does have some pretty good utility bits, and honestly, even if like he wasn't a good attacker, the defensive value is just insane for this champion. And fun fact, I am going to be hunting Bullseye in this video because yeah, I want to push Battlegrounds, and if I want to do that, I feel like I need a Bullseye in my roster. So yeah, Bullseye I think is a fantastic addition. I think if you want to push Battlegrounds, he is near must have with how like annoying he is to fight. So yeah, Bullseye just a massive addition to any roster. Now White Tiger is a very interesting character. I think that she is a very fun champion to play, but I also feel like she maybe hasn't necessarily delivered yet, because I think that she's like a cool champion. I think she's really fun to play, like I said, but outside of like her really good matchups against like buff heavy champions like Hulkling or Gore, I don't think she's shining that much overall. And it's not because she's bad, it's just because I don't think she does anything super special. And I think that like her damage output can be replicated with like ease, and her utility isn't really like anything too general, and it's just very niche. So yeah, I think that overall White Tiger does have some pretty good mechanics for sure for like those really annoying cosmic characters, but as it stands right now, I don't think that she is going to be like lighting up the contest like Kushala is anytime soon, but I think she is still a very fun champion overall. And last but not least is Ironheart. Now this champion I feel like is a really fun character, and I think that she honestly deserves a bit more credit because she does a very good job at like having good tech tropes. And while that's also like that's a good thing, right? But it's also kind of a bad thing because it means that she didn't really necessarily, you know, break out of the mold, right? So she is like a pretty standard tech champion, and we have a lot of those already. So it's like, will you use this champion over the already strong tech characters? Maybe, or maybe not. One cool thing about her is that she can alternate her damage form, so that is pretty sweet. But besides that, I feel like she honestly is just another standard tech character, and at this point I was hoping that like we'd get one that would just, you know, break out of the mold, right? But I don't think she did that all too well. Still a fantastic character, still has great utility and some pretty good damage output, but just isn't like, you know, a breakout champion, I feel like. But yeah, these are all my thoughts on these characters. I think they're all very fun champions, and I think they're all pretty great champions too, but some are just kind of doing better in like the current state of the game. Alright, it is now time for the crystal opening, so always remember to get your featured from the Sigil store because it is at a discount, if you have it anyways. But yeah, I don't have too many crystals here because I usually just use my shards for like 7-star shards. So yeah, do I regret opening my basic crystals instead of saving for this featured? Not really, because you know 7 stars are just a lot more valuable. But yeah, first crystal here. There are some pretty okay champions, but then there's Penny Parker. She's already a 7-star, so I'm not fussed about this in the slightest. Honestly, I just want Bullseye and only Bullseye. That's really about it. Maybe a White Tiger dupe, maybe some extra SIGs on like Onslaught, but yeah, this crystal just, it's really all about Bullseye for me personally. And crystal number 2 is going to be a 6-star version of Black Panther Civil War. Why is this champion in this crystal? I don't know, because he is like really bad and it just makes the crystal like way worse, but you know, I guess you need some balance, right? But next crystal, just please give me that Bullseye, just make my life easy. I don't want to spend any more shards on this featured because I want to use it for like, you know, basic crystals. And here is a 6-star version of Spider-Man 2099. So yeah, 3 up, 3 down. You hate to see it, nothing too good here at all. But I do have 2 more crystals, so let's just, I guess, buy them. I didn't want to have to do this, but I kind of have no choice. I need Bullseye pretty much. He's just such a valuable like defender, so I desperately need this champion. And here is crystal number 4, and we land on a 6-star version of Captain Britain. This is not going well, I'll tell you that much. This is honestly going pretty terribly. Like, the non-featured characters so far for me have been massive misses, but yeah, here's the final crystal for today. Just please give me that 6-star Bullseye. I need him badly. Like, this is so important. But come on, just give me something good here, please. Final crystal. There's Bullseye in the reel. Let's just end it on a good note, please, because I really need it. But there's a lot of trash in this crystal. There is Chth, and we're gonna land on a 6-star version of Icarus, which I guess is a max SIG crystal, so it could be worse. But yeah, I just wanted more from this opening. I just wanted Bullseye, and yeah, 0 for 5. It is what it is, but maybe the next crystal will have him. I don't know, but I just really need him ASAP. But let me know your thoughts on this crystal opening. Let me know what you pulled as well, and yeah, that's about it for me.